Hello, everyone. A few days ago, I penned an irritated tweet in response to one of the latest happenings on the increasingly heated culture war front. In response to the decision of an actor named Ellen Elliott Page, I am employing this awkward and impossible naming style because it is now apparently mandatory and am probably doing it wrong nonetheless, as you're doing it wrong is the whole point of what is being made mandatory. But also, I'm trying to make a point. I've essentially been banned from Twitter as a consequence. I say banned, although technically I have been suspended. But the suspension will not be lifted unless I delete the hateful tweet in question, and I would rather die than do that. And hopefully it will not come to that, although who the hell knows in these increasingly strange days. Here is the tweet in question. Remember when pride was a sin?
Remember when pride was a sin and Ellen Page just had her breast removed by a criminal physician? Okay. And this is what Twitter said. You may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexuality. Remember when pride was a sin? Okay, this first line here, I believe he's talking about the transgender community, the pride parade and stuff. That's my assumption. Um, which obviously is triggering. I can see why it's triggering. And then Ellen Page just had her breast removed by criminal physician. Now, this is where I kind of agree with him on the point of criminal physician. I don't think it's good what they do of someone isn't sure of their sexual orientation and or like who they are actually, like whether gender or male, and then they just take away their parts like that because it could be a phase. And I know Ellen Page is old enough to make her own decision. I just feel like it's such a very, very extreme method, right, to deal with a situation like this, where you think you are a man, or where you believe you're a man, whatever the case may be. So if you truly believe you're a man, even though clearly have a woman's parts, like she has breasts, I'm pretty sure she had a vagina, or probably still does, has gone through periods and stuff like that, and and all that thing. So I don't think that the best idea, the first thing to do should be to just go and cut your breast. I think that's a very, very, very harsh stance to take. I do believe you need to go through therapy first. I mean a lot of therapy to actually understand why it is you feel like that, and maybe it's because it's a phase. Maybe truly you're just into what guys generally are into, and there's nothing wrong with that. In my opinion, if you're a girl that's into guy stuff, maybe, I don't know, you don't like dressing like girls typically dress and whatever, that's okay. You're just a girl or a woman who likes to do what men generally like to do, and that's okay. Just do it. Like, we're in an age where it's okay to do whatever it is you want to do with your life. You know what I mean? As long as you're not harming anyone else. If you want to be more tomboyish and more tough as a girl and stuff like that, I mean, that's okay. No one's gonna judge you for that. Well, I shouldn't say no one. Well, people would, because people are assholes. But it shouldn't matter what people say, especially in this day and age where you're allowed to do whatever it is you want to do, right? As bar harming someone else. So
The response from Twitter, quote,
the
violating
link.
our rules against hateful conduct. Twitter.
Okay. We're gonna find the link. We're gonna find this link. All right. So I guess this is the feed that he was talking about. It said Elliot Page is proud to introduce trans character on Umbrella Academy. I don't get. Is she doing this just to show that she's a trans person in a movie? Who cares? That's the thing. Like most people don't really care what your sexual orientation is. Like, why do people deem this necessary that there's a trans character in a movie? Who cares? I'm not watching the movie to see a trans character. I'm watching the movie because of the story. Oh, it's not a movie though. It's a series, Umbrella Academy, which I stopped watching actually. Not because of whatever this is. I just stopped because I I don't know. I just stopped. I didn't really couldn't really follow it. It wasn't really my thing at some point. That's it. I'm not watching the show anymore. Who cares? Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? If you don't want to watch it because she's trans, fuck. No one cares. Yeah, that's another thing too. Is that shit on CW? Why promoting it? Why stop? Huh? This is one show I'm not watching at all. Cool. Nobody asked. And no one really cares. Is this how Twitter is? I'm not on Twitter, but right. There's one show I'm not watching at all. Cool. Nobody asked. Yeah, I'm sold. Like, why are you sold because she's trans? That's not why they're making the show Umbrella Academy. I know what the show is about, and it's not because of people being trans and whatever. Won't be watching. How would they recover? Yeah. So source material is being rewritten. Hard pass. Wait, it's being rewritten because of that? It's a shame. Comic version Vanya has been the most victimized by Netflix adaptation. Vanya. I guess Vanya is Ellen Page's character. I can't remember their names, honestly. I just remember the small kid that's pretty smart. And the other guy who I remember his, if you say his name, I remember it. His name was like Kruger or something, some kind of German name or something. The guy who can see dead people. I like his ability. He's funny, and he was from some British comedy show, comedy series, which was amazing. I loved him. Um, my gender is not just a top surgery and a hairdo. Yeah, it was identifying as such. There you go. Huh? Well, okay, let's find another page. Let's see what the Yoko. Eva is proud to introduce trans character on Umbrella Academy. I have Page Elliot Page. Jesus Christ! Imagine calling her Elliot Page. Remember when we used to call her Ellen Page because of the whole? I remember because I'm a huge gamer, right? And I used to play. And I played The Last of Us. I remember the first one where the kid. What was her name? I can't remember her name. Whatever. But she was a she looked exactly like Ellen Page, and there was such a huge debate that why is this character being making why is this character looking like Ellen Page? And I think she probably won the lawsuit. I think she sued them. I think she sued Naughty Dog for that and probably won. I can't remember the story, but you probably should check that out yourselves. But I know there was a huge conversation about that, which I'm not going to talk about here. I'm not going to just jump from story to story. The focus was on the fact that Jordan Peterson is being banned. So I want to kind of focus. I mean, being canceled on Twitter. So I want to focus on that. Just proud and excited that they're the fuck is. Why do you say there? It's not multiple people. She's not possessed. You say things like that when you're possessed. There. You're not possessed to say there. It's either he or her. Like, excited that he, if you want to be called a he, okay. And her, if you accept your biological, disposition. Because you're a girl, so it's her. And I don't know why people make it sound like sex and gender are separate. They're not. They're one and the same. Literally, you cannot have one without the other because one defines the other. Gender isn't just some random name you just say because you feel like it. You use gender because it's associated to something that people can identify you by, and they identify you by your sex, which is then translated through your gender. I don't even know why people even have this debate. It's so stupid. And you have like high intellectuals actually having this debate. It's ridiculous. Gender is basic. Gender cannot exist without sex. It just can't. So if you want to have a gender, that means you have to be referencing it to some kind of sex. So if you're saying you're a he, right, that means you are basically saying there is a category to what he means, right? He is masculine, right? So masculine is the male sex. I don't even know what is this? What are we arguing about here? Like, I don't know why I keep seeing this stuff there. It's not like there. You're not possessed. You're not harboring three spirits or whatever. You are a single entity. Okay, there's not two spirits inside of you. It's just you, and you're either he or she. You know, I can understand if you don't want to be called a she because maybe you don't feel like you don't feel feminine and you want to be called a he. That's fine. That's a different topic. Okay, I'm not going to start sitting down and criticize why it is, and there's so many reasons why it makes no sense why you are a woman but you want to be called he. That's a separate argument. I think that's fine to have, but there and they and stuff like that makes no sense. The superhero premieres Wednesday. The Oscar nominated Juno. That's the thing. That's the thing. Why is this is what's confusing. When she was nominated for the Oscar of the role of Juno, right? It wasn't because, right? It was a he. It was a she. So are you gonna take away? Are you gonna take away the Oscar nomination that he or she, I guess, I don't even know, that he had at the time? Because then he was a she. So are you gonna take away the nomination? Because that nomination was given to a female, right? It was Juno, right? Juno, Ellen Page. See, it still says Ellen Page on Google. Ellen Page nomination. Okay, she, as you can see, looks very feminine, right? Oh, I need to watch this movie. This is my guy. I like this guy. I actually like this guy. 35 years. I just think she's going through something. I don't know. I don't see the whole point of.
Guest is an Oscar-nominated actor who stars in the Netflix series The Umbrella Academy. The third season starts streaming June 22nd. Let's take a look.
Victor, we could go home tonight.
Victor?
Okay? And for the first time in days, I'm feeling hope, so please don't step on that.
Okay. Come on, we have to be smarter about this. We don't know enough about the sparrows.
I've got you. No one's gonna win a fight against me and my tiny badass brother.
No more improvising, okay? We do things together from now on. Got it?
Please welcome back to the show, Elliot
that.
Page, everybody.
It's so weird. Why is she doing this?
Welcome back.
How's it going?
This is a fantastic show about adoptive siblings.
Why is she trying to sound like a guy too? Why is she having a
With superpowers. It's full of action. The clip did not show that. I feel like this is a very spoiler-laden show, so when someone
Why is
like
she
you
trying to
comes
sound
on to Big Press,
masculine?
they give us a clip that does not tell much about the show at all.
Yeah, it's nice to keep it exciting and full of surprises. There's great twists and turns this year, so and I think it shows the balance of the show, and it's so fun to make as an actor. It's so fulfilling as an actor.
Why is her voice like this? This is not how her voice is.
And yeah, we have
Or his voice.
so much fun. So.
You also play violin on the show. Is this a skill you had to teach yourself? Because it looks very convincing.
I most certainly did not teach myself. And I was pretty horrible at it. In my defense, they say it's the most difficult instrument to learn, which I very much understand. But I had an amazing teacher and a fantastic double, and I just
That seems like
did my
seems
best.
like the second one might be more helpful.
She was fantastic, Imogen, incredible. So what a joy to listen to her play on set. Me, I'm sure the crew members were probably ready to walk off set.
Right. So since the show started, you, as an actor, came out as trans, and then your character also came out as trans. Were these conversations that you got to have with the writers about the journey that your character took, having lived that experience yourself?
Yeah, it was, and really with Steve Blackman, the showrunner of Umbrella, who's just incredible and such a wonderful person. And so when we first talked about it, he
This is weird, guys.
seemed really excited.
This is weird
about
to me.
Incorporating it.
This is
into the
weird to
show.
me.
And,
What is happening?
Incredible writer, journalist, author Thomas Page McBee, who I met doing a miniseries called Tales of the City, He wrote an extraordinary book called Amateur, which I highly recommend everybody to read. He was the first trans man to box in Madison Square Garden, and his book and his work in general are so much about masculinity and what it means, and exploring that. So Thomas came on board and helped out, and
So what, you
I
think
felt
you're
proud of it,
masculine now?
and,
Because you took out your earrings?
One of the
What is
nice
this?
things is your siblings on the show.
You look so
when they-
effeminate. You look so effeminate. Right now, you look so effeminate. You don't even have an Adam's apple. That's one thing, that makes you very effeminate. Because I don't. And I know as a man, I'm more effeminate than most. I'm not even going to deny that. I'm more effeminate than most. But that doesn't mean that I'm a woman because I'm effeminate to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, you have more female characteristics doesn't mean that you're a woman. You can be a man and be more effeminate. Like for example, this is why there's any group of people that I understand the most, and before I didn't really understand, but now I sympathize with, is the homosexuals, right? Like the men who, or the women who, who are into same sex. It's like they accept themselves for who they are. They're the ones who, by definition, accept the way they are because they're into same sex. It's just what they are into. Now, it may be good for them, it may be bad for them, but it's their life. It's what they've chosen to do, it's what they like to do. And as long as your partner is happy with it, I'm cool with it because they're both okay with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one needs to do these mental gymnastics to try to keep up with their situation. It's their life. They can live however the hell they want to live their life, and I'm okay with it. But I think the transgender community, I don't really care about whether or not you want to call yourself a man or a woman. No one really cares, but it's just the way it's so, the agenda is so forced everywhere that it's so uncomfortable to the point where we're trying to act like in sports, it doesn't even like that difference between a man and a woman doesn't even exist. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, back to Jordan Peterson being banned.
Quote, violating our rules against hateful conduct. You may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or serious disease. By clicking delete, you acknowledge that your tweet violated the Twitter rules.
Lol.
Delete. If you think we've made a mistake, submit an appeal to us. Please note that should you do so, your account will remain locked while we review your appeal. My tweet violated the Twitter rules. What rules, you sons of bitches?
Uh-oh.
Exactly. Precisely.
He loves that word.
Because such things matter when the accusations start flying. So what did I say that might constitute harassment? Well, many things, hypothetically. Let's begin with, remember when pride was a sin?
Yeah.
Although that is merely a factual statement, because under the old rules, applicable even a decade ago, pride was a sin.
The 7 cardinal sins. I think it's 7 deadly sins, as they call them. It was pride, gluttony, lust, sloth, envy. There's 2 more. Anger. There's 1 more. What's the last one? I can't remember. But yeah, there's 7 deadly sins. You can go read what they are. People probably
And
know
had been
them.
recognized as perhaps the cardinal sin for thousands of years previously. It still might be regarded as unacceptable to the woke authoritarian moralists who now insist, for example, that we celebrate Pride Month, not hour or day or week, but month, and who have literally called it Pride Month instead of LGBT plus month or whatever else alphabet acronym which is currently insisted upon as
This
the
guy.
only acceptable enlightened terminology. I don't regard pride as a virtue.
I think he's still
It
in
has been
Romania,
classically
'cause he still
regarded
has
as
the
a
badge.
sin. I don't see that sexual orientation or sexual desire of any sort is something to celebrate or to take pride in.
You know, that's
And so
true. Who cares, man? You wanna have sex with a turtle? Okay, well that's against human animal rights, I guess. You see, it's even against animal rights. But maybe the animal liked it. Animal liked it. That's your excuse. For those people that have sex with animals, you know, it's almost the same as pedophilia, in my opinion. Because it's like, the child didn't complain. Like, how is the child going to complain? They don't know what's happening to them. It's the same thing. The animal doesn't know what the hell's going on. All they know is they're being rammed in by some big creature that they never expected to be rammed in by. Okay? So let's not pretend, okay, that there's something not wrong about that. However, if you wanted to start having, you want to change your sexual identity or whatever, why should I care? Why should that be a talking topic of my day that you have decided to wear high heels? Okay, good for you. If I see it, I'll be like, okay, hey, why are you wearing high heels today? It's like, it brings out the best in me, and this is what, I like to wear now. It's like, okay, good for you. Break a leg. Well, not literally, but, have fun. Do what you want to do. I guess you're a woman. You decided you had really long hair yesterday, and then you cut your hair because you felt, you want to feel more masculine or whatever, which, to be honest, doesn't really define masculinity because you have short hair. Because a lot of men with long hair, like Jason Momoa, okay, so he's one of the epitomes of an alpha male, and his hair is so long. I don't know why some women think that by cutting their hair makes them look more masculine all the time. It doesn't. Alpha male energy is just there. It's not by trying to paint yourself as a male. Like, people can smell masculinity. Okay, it's something that is inbuilt. Okay, you can't just create it out of something. It's something that's so innate. Okay, same thing with femininity. That's why a man can sense a woman that is very, very attractive, right? They can sense it even if she has short hair and even if she's covered from head to toe in a gown with a hijab. People can still sense that is a sexy woman. Sometimes all they need to do is just see her mannerisms or her eyes, and they can tell you can sense how attractive someone is by just the way they behave and how they carry themselves. You don't necessarily have to see them in a bathing suit. You know what I mean? Anyway, I digress, but I'm sure some of you understand what I'm talking about. That when I see all these transgender things where they have to dress like this and change this and create bigger boobs because they feel that makes, men getting boob implants and thinking that makes them more feminine. If you want to have boobs, just wear, that's fine. But don't say you're doing it to make yourself more feminine. That's to you. That's not to the public, because the public can still sense a masculine person when they see one. You know what I mean? They can still tell who's feminine and who's not. And something for people that don't know is that if you're an effeminate male, if you're very effeminate male, chances are you're going to get hit on by a lot of masculine men who are borderline gay or gay. People don't know this, but it's true. You will get hit on. Either unconsciously or consciously by that person, you will get hit on in some way. If you're a very effeminate man, and I mean, if you're not trying to act like a woman, if you're just genuinely exude femininity as a man, you will get hit on by some masculine men. Okay, some men will find you attractive. It's just a fact. Same way, if you are a very masculine woman, right? Very masculine, that you exude masculine energy, a lot of women will find you attractive because you exude masculine energy. This is something that's innate in us. This is something that we've evolved into over the years, okay? It doesn't mean that the masculine woman is now, therefore, a man because she exudes masculine energy. It's the same way the effeminate man, just because he's effeminate, now is a woman. Do you see what I mean? And that's the mistake that a lot of people make in today's age, that they just assume that because you look this way or because you act this way, therefore you are this way. No, it just means you are who you are. And that's okay.